Here's Elisha reporting to the king of Israel anytime the king of Aram or Syria was going to attack him. And he's simply doing what he was supposed to do as a prophet. He is fulfilling his ministry. He is doing good work. Would you agree that what Elisha was doing was very good work for Israel? He was fulfilling his role as a prophet. He was doing the work of God. He was advancing God's kingdom. But nevertheless, in the midst of doing the right thing, this king of Aram, this evil king, decided to attack him and to destroy him. He believed the best way to deal with this problem was to somehow eradicate Elisha from the equation, to somehow get rid of him. And the story really begins to unfold as this king of Aram decides to destroy Elisha. Elisha now comes under attack. Here's what I want to say to all of us today. If you are a follower of Jesus Christ, attempting to do the work of God, attempting to live a life that will honor God, I promise you, you are going to come under attack. Amen. If you're doing nothing for God, chances are the devil's going to leave you alone. Amen. Okay. But if you're doing anything for God, if you're trying to serve God in any way, I promise you, you're going to be attacked at times, and there is a dark behind the dark. And that dark behind the dark represents the evil forces that come against us as believers. I want to help us today to understand that we as believers are in a spiritual battle. You cannot see into the heavenly realms, but in the unseen realm, there's certainly the kingdom of light, and we'll talk a bit more about that as we go through the story, but there's also the kingdom of darkness. The Apostle Paul warns us of this in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. He says, "For we are not fighting against flesh and blood, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world." Notice this, authorities of what kind of world? The unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places. Dear ones, please understand today that as a Christian believer seeking to follow Christ, you are going to experience spiritual attacks in your life. I'm not saying that to make you feel afraid. You have no reason to be afraid, as you'll see from the story today, because God is greater than any attack that may ever come your way. You never need to worry about that in that regard, but you do need to be vigilant. You do need to be aware of the fact that we are in a battle.